The phrase rule of thumb refers to an approximate method for doing something based on practical experience rather than theory. The phrase can be traced back to the 17th century and has been associated with various trades where quantities were measured by comparison to the width or length of a thumb. Its earliest, 1685, appearance in print comes from a posthumously published collection of sermons by Scottish preacher James Durham. Quote, "Many professed Christians are like to foolish builders, who build by guess and by rule of thumb as we used to speak, and not by square and rule." End quote. The phrase is also found in Sir William Hope's The Complete Fencing Master, 1692, quote, "What he doth by rule of thumb and not by art." 6 James Kelly's The Complete Collection of Scottish Proverbs, 1721, includes, "No rule so good as rule of thumb, if it hit, 7, 8, meaning a practical approximation. The association between the thumb and implements of domestic violence can be traced to 1782, when English judge Sir Francis Buller was ridiculed for purportedly stating that a husband could beat his wife, provided that he used a stick no wider than his thumb. There is no record of Buller making such a statement, but the rumor created a lot of publicity, with Buller being mocked as Judge Thumb in published jokes and cartoons. The phrase rule of thumb became associated with domestic abuse in the late 1970s, when an author mentioned the idiom in an article but did not say that there was any such legal rule. After this, an incorrect belief that there was an actual legal rule spread. The error appeared in a number of law journals, and the United States Commission on Civil Rights published a report on domestic abuse titled, Under the Rule of Thumb, in 1982. Some efforts were made to discourage the phrase, which was seen as taboo owing to this false origin. During the 1990s, several authors correctly identified the spurious folk etymology. However, the connection to domestic violence was still being cited in some legal sources into the early 2000s.